that cable car.
Nice work, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant.
I guess that winds up the Levinson case.
Push the seat back a little ways. It's a lot better.
If I were you, Commissioner, I'd spend the evening in a hot tub.
A good idea if I can talk 6 people into climbing in with me. Gotta make a seance.
You're going to a seance tonight, sir?
Afraid so.
Well, don't be afraid. I've been. They're a little spooky, sure, but it's worth it considering the information you pick up.
Information you pick up?
Yeah. What's the name of your seer, sir?
Not my seer, it's the seer of a friend. A very dear friend has just been told her husband is coming back from the dead.
From the dead? That's quite a trick.
Yeah. That's why I want to be there.
We are here among the dead, waiting for you who are out there in the great beyond to communicate with us. We ask that you make your presence known. Ours is a distinguished group here tonight. Commissioner of Police Stuart McMillan and his lovely wife. Magician Harry Hastings, known professionally as the Great Mandini, who last week here at this table heard the spirit of Arthur Kendall speak to us. The gracious and beautiful Nora Dane. And most important of all, Arthur asked that his beloved wife Evie be here with us, and she is. Evie Kendall is here and waiting, accompanied by her doctor, Eli Spake. Join hands, please.
Well, old Gabriel's apparently putting in an appearance tonight. Now, that's her best trick. From here on, it's usually downhill.
I feel the presence of Arthur Kendall. Arthur is trying to get through. Arthur, we know you are here. We ask you to join us in our circle of love.
Evie. Evie! Evie! Oh, Evie. Oh, Evie. Why? Why did you kill me? Why did you murder me?
Evie, now listen to me. Listen to me, Evie. It's all right. Now, come on, I'll take you home.
Sally, come with me, please.
Are you coming, Nora?
No, I'd just be in the way, but please tell her again how awful I feel. God, to lose your husband's bad enough, but to have him called from the dead. I should know. Mine called from Hong Kong last night to tell me that the alimony'd be late again.
Oh, well, at least it was a friendly call. Nora, will you tell Mac that I went with Evie?
Madam Zara, would you mind telling me how this trick was done?
I most certainly would mind. Do you think I shake like this after a trick? A cheap trick. It's true. I do sometimes resort to tricks. I can command this trumpet to float in midair. But, Commissioner, what you have just seen was a true visitation.
Sally wanted you to know she went with Evie.
Okay, thanks, Nora.
Admit, I wonder why I was chosen myself. Why he picked me for one of the great psychic experiences. Obviously, there is a purity about me that even I hadn't recognized. But I was ready. And what you saw was a true miracle from the grave, an anguished soul pointing an accusing finger at the person who murdered him. I think I'm going to give up the trumpet.
Yes, ma'am. Harry.
I don't know, Mac. I don't know how she did it. I've checked every wall and every baseboard, and I don't know. I know she's a first-class fraud, but last week I heard him, and tonight I saw him.
How dare you, Harry Hastings? I have seen many of your tricks, but I have always remained polite. And now tonight, you see a true visitation, and you can't even be gracious about it. You are riddled with jealousy. But I take that as a supreme compliment.
Then I trust you'll take it as a supreme compliment if I call the bunco squad to go over this room.
I am deeply honored.
I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him.
Of course you didn't, Evie. We all know that.
And why did he say it? Why?
We don't know that it was Arthur.
Mac doesn't believe in ghosts. I don't either.
Look, she really should be resting now.
No.
Evie, you're going to take a sedative. You've got to rest.
No, not yet. I want to tell Mac and Sally everything.
That can wait till tomorrow.
No, now. Mac, you and Sally remember this little item? A memento of my suicide attempt 2 years ago.
I don't think that now is the time to discuss it. Eli's right. Let's wait till tomorrow. Good night's sleep.
I'm not discussing suicide. I'm talking about this razor. After I tried to use it, Arthur hid it. I never knew where.
That's right. Then, maybe a month ago.
I'm telling this, Eli. A month ago today, I found it lying open on my dressing room table. And only a week later, I opened a closet door and found a suit of Arthur's clothes hanging there, caked with blood.
Darling, must you?
Yes, I must. And yesterday, an oil portrait of Arthur that had been put away in storage. Come with me, please. It suddenly reappeared. There on the wall. When the maid saw it, she quit. I stood here staring up at it and remembered the day that I tried to quit. That was the worst fight that Arthur and I ever had. The very next night, he called from our cabin in the mountains and asked me to join him there. But I didn't. No, I didn't. I wasn't the one that fired that gun. I never went.
Evie, you were proven innocent.
Yes. Yes, you did that for me.
No, a jury did.
Evie, you've been through more than enough for one night. Now, please, take a sedative now.
No. No.
Evie, what is it?
Smells like tobacco smoke.
It was my last birthday present to him. Why is this happening? Why?
That's why we're here, Evie. Find out why.
And Mac will, Evie.
It's Arthur. It's Arthur. Find him, please. He's got to be here. He is here. I can feel his presence. He's in this room right now. Show yourself, Arthur. Show yourself, Arthur.
Ghost giving me the willies. My grandmother used to live in a haunted house. I was a little girl at the time.
Your grandmother used to live in a haunted house?
Mm-hmm, was all she could afford.
Did you ever see any ghosts?
Oh, sure, I saw them. But I never heard one talk like you two did last night. Arthur Kendall talked, wow.
He talked.
Somebody talked.
But what did he sound like with his head shot off?
She's got a point there, you know that?
I mean, that poor man up there in the mountains trying to get a little rest. He opens the door and there stands somebody with a shotgun. What do I mean, somebody? If he said his wife killed him, she did. And that's why his poor ghost is earthbound. No one will believe him.
Mildred, Evie did not kill him.
Oh, I know she's one of your closest friends, Mrs. McMillan. But if Arthur said she did it, she did it. Oh, would you like a little coffee?
Thank you.
Oh, I better get some fresh.
Mac, what if Evie starts thinking like Mildred does? She'll become convinced that she did kill him, and it'll drive her insane. You can't let that happen, Mac. She's counting on you.
I know. The problem is trying to figure out what our friend the ghost is counting on.
We covered every square inch of that seance room, sir. Nothing. Marnie Ellsworth couldn't have been more cooperative.
She's been waiting all her life to be investigated by a bunco squad.
Yeah, well, I also had them check into her past. Always a lot of hocus pocus, but always within the law.
What's that odor?
Oh, oil of cloves, sir. I got a molar that's killing me. Nice smell, huh?
Very nice. There it is.
boy. When Harry Hastings says a man's home is his castle, he isn't kidding.
Hello in there.
Well, now what do we do?
We say open sesame. You see?
Mac, I'm on lower level 2.
I'll go first, Sergeant.
It's wet.
Hello, Mac.
Sergeant Enright, this is the great Mandini.
Sergeant? Well, we're getting the hands in shape, putting together our new show.
Didn't know you gave him any more, Harry.
Well, except on special occasions, I don't. Like the circus, the day of magic, the day of the magician is almost over. Night of the wizard, twilight of the gods, you might say. However, I'm booked into one last grand tour. We're opening tonight at the Club Castile. Toothache, Sergeant?
No, I'm just a little on edge.
Feel better?
It's gone.
Temporary relief. In a few hours, it'll wear off, so I advise you to check with your dentist. Otherwise, I'm in trouble with the ADA. Here, Sergeant, let me show you another. Take a card.
Harry, Enright and I are here to talk about last night.
Mac, what if I were to tell you... What if I were to tell you that I didn't think it was a trick?
Oh, come on, Harry. You don't believe in ghosts any more than I do. You've exposed every case we ever handed you. He's caught more frauds than any man I know. Given expert testimony in court, time and time again. All negative, Harry. No such thing as ghosts. Don't tell me now, after all this, that you're suddenly going to start believing in them.
I know what I saw. Nobody could be more shaken than I.
You can't honestly believe that Arthur Kendall came back from the dead and talked to us.
Mac, please try to understand what all this means to me. I mean, the search to find the supernatural has been the quest of every great magician, and for obvious reason. With all our illusions, tricks, devices, we still secretly want to believe that such a thing does exist, called the true magic, that extra step into the unknown. And last night, after all these years, I witnessed it. I heard it. I saw it. My body, I felt cold, clammy. Because I knew that here it is. The dead can return. And no wizard of legerdemain, myself included, could ever create an illusions so real as the ghost of Arthur Kendall.
The medium sat here, Nora Dane here, and the magician here. Evie Kendall here and Dr. Spake here. Sally and I sat over here. Arthur Kendall appeared about here from my sightline.
We checked, sir, and there was no evidence of projection equipment or mirrors to create the image.
That means the image was created by the presence of a real person.
In the flesh, sir.
These drapes concealed the door through which he obviously came.
But, sir, that door was locked.
It was locked when I tried it. Doesn't mean it was locked when he tried.
Well, Commissioner, conducting your own private seance, I see.
No, just consulting the future, Chapman. Trying to see if the district attorney is ever going to win a case.
That's good, Mac. Very good. Now look into the past and see if you should have won the case of Evie Kendall.
Why? You thinking of putting a ghost up on the witness stand?
I'm dreaming about it. Especially about the part where he testifies to the fact that she killed him.
What's your angle?
Justice isn't an angle, Commissioner.
Why don't you turn that into a bumper sticker? You know that Evie Kendall was acquitted of that murder. And even if she walked into this room right now and confessed, the laws of double jeopardy would prevent you or anyone else from taking legal recourse. So, what's your angle?
Well, let's see. She testified that she took sleeping pills that night. But did she? She could have driven up to that mountain cabin, killed him, and who would have known? If I can prove she lied about that alibi, we've got her on perjury, 1 to 14 years.
Look, Chapman. Evie Kendall is in a very delicate and dangerous state of mind. This is not the time to force her to relive that case with a lot of hard questions.
You and your wife are just too close to her, Max. She could have done it, you know, and a thing like murder shouldn't be allowed to just lie there.
No, it shouldn't, and it should have been solved by now.
It could have been solved by now. Tell me, Mac, what bothers you more? That you saw a ghost? Or that you let a murderess get off scot-free?
How about my specialty?
No, just rub my neck. Did you ever have the feeling you were being used, Sally?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's the way I feel. Hello?
Commissioner, I found a report that a lawyer now dead was called upon to draw up a contract of some kind between Arthur Kendall and Harry Hastings.
What kind of a contract?
Well, the deal was never made, sir, so we don't know.
But Harry Hastings does.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pandora's box. Contrary to legend, Pandora never opened the box, never discovered the contents. Its hideous creatures were never set loose over the countryside. It was taboo, forbidden. And for that reason, in 1704, this lock was placed on it. Through all the long years and the many centuries since then, Pandora's box has remained
Nora, I
closed.
wish Joe would come back.
Shut.
They're divorced. My little romantic, you do know what that means.
I don't want to discuss it.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a rare and eerie experience. Tonight, this night, for the first time in history, Pandora's box is to be opened.
Scare you?
Great looking. I think Pandora's gonna jump out.
And land in your lap. You're the one who ordered ringside.
I love it. Mac, he's terrifying those women. I'm not easily frightened, but if I were, well, it'd be enough to drive you batty. You do think it's a little scary, don't you, Mac?
Do you suppose that was the deal?
What?
The deal between Arthur and Harry. To drive Evie out of her mind.
Horrible.
Come in.
Great show, old great Mandini.
Absolutely terrifying. You want to see my goosebumps?
Sally, no.
I could show you a few of my own.
You mean you scare yourself?
Only on opening night.
That Pandora's Box illusion's quite a horror show, Harry.
I hope so.
You always end your act with a number that leaves them screaming?
That's my trade, Mac. It's part of it anyway.
It could scare the wits out of anybody.
I didn't make that deal with Arthur Kendall, Mac. In fact, when he asked me to drop by that afternoon, I assumed that he and Evie were both there, and it was just for a visit. I quickly discovered that he was alone, and...
It's a surprise party, Harry. Evie's birthday. It'll be quite a group, 20, 30 people. Now, just before Evie comes down the stairs, I'm gonna make sure there's a power failure.
Power failure? You're suggesting she come downstairs in the dark?
Well, why not? That's the idea, surprise. But what a surprise. Just before the lights go up, you unleash those squiggly creatures from Pandora's box.
Arthur, are you aware that she's never seen that trick before?
She's never even heard of it. That's what's so great. She won't know what's happening.
Women have been known to faint when I perform that illusion, Arthur. You know that. You know it.
Evie won't faint. Heaven forbid.
No, Arthur. The answer is a definite no.
What do you mean, no? Harry, I'm not asking you to do me a favor. I'm engaging your professional services, standard contract. In fact, now that you mention it...
I didn't mention it.
I'm having one drawn up. Name your price. The lawyer will fill it in.
Good day to you, Arthur.
You're not leaving just yet. What are you trying to pull?
What are you trying to pull, Kendall?
Harry Hastings, the great Mandini, magician extraordinaire, is that it? All right, I'll lay a bundle on you for just one performance.
Including health and welfare, including that?
Harry, you may need health and welfare sooner than you think. You know, magicians aren't exactly in demand these days. Or do you plan to stand on local street corners and pull rabbits from hats in hopes that people will throw pennies at you?
I should have hit him. I wanted to, but I didn't. I simply got out of there. Mac, that's the last time I talked to Arthur Kendall.
Why would he want to scare her like that?
Why? To drive her back to an asylum, of course.
For her money, Sally, that's why he married her.
That's also why he wanted to get rid of her. Imagine thinking about money when you're face to face with a creature as lovely and as fragile as Evie Kendall. She is quite simply the most exquisitely beautiful woman in the world.
Mac, he's in love with Evie. Isn't that nice?
I hope so.
Remember that movie with Charles Boyer?
Yeah, and Ingrid Bergman.
Come back, Mac.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what Arthur was trying to do. Gaslight her.
And what someone's still trying to do. But who now?
Well, now, oh daughter of the great criminologist, who's got the most to gain?
I can't think of anybody but Arthur.
Exactly.
But he's dead.
You sure?
Well, how could he be alive? He couldn't. How?
I'm going to exhume Arthur's body.
Oh, Mac.
And I'll have to get Evie's permission.
Suppose we're wrong.
Don't think I haven't thought of that.
I feel fine. But you obviously have some bad news for me. What is it, Mac?
Not bad news. No, I have a proposal I'd like to make to you, but I don't want it to upset you.
I'm fine, really. Propose.
Evie, has it ever occurred to you that Arthur might still be alive?
Mac, how can you even say that?
Because no one can prove his appearance at the seance was a trick, and I refuse at this late stage of my life to start believing in ghosts.
Mac, do you really think he's alive?
We don't know, of course, Evie.
We have to be sure. There's only one way.
How do you do that?
Exhume the body, and I need your permission.
No, you're taking a terrible risk subjecting her to this.
Eli, please. Mac, if you feel it's the right thing to do, then do it.
Commissioner, I'm sure you're aware that you're dealing with a woman who has a past history of emotional disturbance. Now, during the trial, she transferred her dependence to you, and that's all right. But ideally, since the trial, as her psychiatrist, I should have come to bear some of that responsibility. Well, I didn't. It remains with you. You're the one she counts on. And if you fail her, she's gone. Only this time there won't be any recovery. Now, do I make myself clear?
Yes, you do, Dr. Spig, but there's one thing you don't understand. Sally and I love Evie, too.
Where's Sykes? He went to get the coroner's report.
Did he say anything?
Only that he wanted to tell you himself, though he was smiling.
Commissioner, I've got great news for
Great, let's hear it.
Well, first of all, because of the intervening year, it was impossible to get any fingerprints. Did you get a haircut?
Yeah. Come on, Sykes.
Thought so. Well, then we checked for bone fractures. And there was no discrepancy between the corpse and Arthur Kendall's medical record.
What did you find out?
The dental plates. It so happens that the man who did those plates is a friend of mine. As a matter of fact, he did this bridge. Take a look at that work, will you?
Oh, yeah, it's lovely.
Is that beautiful?
Oh, lovely.
Well, he's a fine man. He's one of the best in the profession. And I talked to him personally.
Sykes, what exactly did he tell you?
A perfect match. No question about it.
About what?
That the corpse is Arthur Kendall.
He's dead?
You bet he's dead.
Thank you, Sykes.
Well, I must say he didn't seem too pleased.
Sykes. He didn't want the body to be Arthur Kendall.
He didn't? Well, nobody told me.
Well, what would you have done about it if they had?
Well, I could have been a little less cheerful.
No.
Are they sure, Mac?
Arthur's dead.
And we're back where we started, aren't we? Oh, Mac. You don't know how I was hoping this would all finally be at an end. That we'd know who it was. I was counting on it.
I was counting on it, too, Evie. I was convinced. Otherwise, I wouldn't put you through all this.
Well, there's nothing to do but go home again, is there?
I'll take you home, Evie. Mac, why don't you pick me up there?
Dr. Spake, please. Commissioner McMillan calling. Hello, Eli? Mac. Yes, we've just had the report. The body is Arthur Kendall's. No, I've already told her. So I'm calling you. Sally's taking her home now, and I think it's a good idea if you were there when they arrived. All right, we can talk about it later.
Excuse me, sir.
Boy, if I was ever set up for one, this is it.
Set up for it?
By a first-class criminal mind, too. He's been ahead of me every step of the way. He knew that seance would terrify Evie, but not enough to drive her insane. Just enough to make her lean on me. A little bit more. He knew I'd exhume the body, which would give her new hope, knowing full well the body was Arthur's. And he knew what that would do to her. Using me to push her right on the edge of madness. Well, if he knows me that well, then I must know him. Well, who is it?
Maybe I better call Dr. Spake.
Here. Your husband called earlier. Thank you for bringing her home, Mrs. McMillan.
I'll just wait downstairs for Mac. My coat and purse right there. That was it. That was the noise. Nothing. The window to the French door's open.
Sally. Sally.
It's the wind. It's just the wind. I know what you're trying to do. If Evie were to come downstairs and see her best friend screaming like a banshee, then it would really drive her mad. What am I talking to? I'm talking to the wind.
Sally!
You're dead! You're dead!
you're to blame for this. You may have destroyed her tonight.
Human mind. It's a primitive fear of the unknown. It's remarkable what it can do to you.
Who could it be?
Fear of the dark.
Motive, motive, motive.
Mildred says you disturbed his grave. She says they don't like that. Mildred also
Sally,
says...
stop thinking about that now. Really.
Right. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going thinking about it.
Mildred.
Oh, it's you, Commissioner.
Sorry, Mildred. I thought I heard it. The roast beef was very good tonight, wasn't it?
Well, who could eat with all those poltergeists roaming around? Poltergeists. Those are the destructive ones, you know. Want one?
No.
Oh. Want another one?
No, one was enough.
Well, I asked. Good night.
It was Mildred getting ice cubes.
I thought it was Mildred. It was just that I was thinking that... When I was a little girl, I was afraid of the dark. So sometimes my mother left the light on for me.
You want one on now?
Not as long as you're here. Thank you, Mac. I love you too.
This is a Richmond lock. It's identical to the one found on the side door of the medium seance room. To open the door, you turn the lock to the right. You close the door, it locks again. Could you open the door, please? Open it. Yeah, thank you.
Then it was locked from the outside.
That's right.
Whoever impersonated Arthur Kendall at the seance had to have an accomplice on the inside.
That's right.
Anything else?
Yes. We vacuumed the room thoroughly. The lab has analyzed the contents.
And?
Well, we found the usual dust, flakes of phosphorescent paint, and these. Pine needles, caked with mud. Could have been tracked in the bottom of somebody's shoes. It's silver-tip Pacific fir, endemic to high altitudes. Found in mountains all through this region.
There's a grove of them up at Kendall's mountain cabin. All right, let's take a run up there. Thank you, Sykes.
Thank you.
Since you're so busy, Sergeant, you know I don't mind driving.
No, I can handle it, Commissioner. I can handle it.
You should have gotten the number of that dentist that Sykes was recommending so highly.
Well, as a matter of fact, sir, I did.
Oh, good. When's your appointment?
Huh? Oh, it's right about now.
You sure you don't want me to drive?
No, I'm fine, sir. I'm fine. Commissioner, I wish you remember that I'm the one with the gun.
Thank you, Sergeant. I'll try to keep that in mind.
Who do you think it was, sir?
I don't know. Let's go see what he didn't want us to see.
Hello?
Evie. Oh, Evie. This is Arthur. Evie. I must see you. I must see you, Evie.
Where are you?
At the old beach house. Oh, hurry. Hurry to me, Evie.
Yes. Yes, I'll be there.
Enright. Arthur Kendall's tobacco. Special blend.
Well, now we know where he got the stuff to frighten Mrs. Kendall. He being whoever's impersonating Arthur Kendall.
But why? Why smoke it when no one else is around, unless you enjoy it?
Well, you know how it is, sir. You try it.
Right.
You like it. Commissioner? Whoever it was had female company. Take a look.
That's the dress Nora Dane wore the night of the seance.
Then you think that she was the one that opened the door that night?
Now I do.
Well, then Nora's husband, Joe, must be our ghost. She just pretended that he was overseas. Actually, he was here all the time trying to gaslight Mrs. Kendall.
Why? Nora and Joe have nothing to gain if Evie's put away. Only Arthur Kendall, her husband, could get the money.
Well, maybe they made a deal with Arthur Kendall. Well, that's no good. He's dead. This thing really hurts. Who else had a motive? Yeah, that's better. You know, sir, I bet I wind up needing a bridge just like Sykes. It's expensive, too. Because you always have to have two of them made in case you lose one or one gets broken or...
Enright?
Oh, I'm sorry about the odor, sir, but it really helps.
You're a genius.
Well?
Call that dentist.
From here?
Find out if Arthur Kendall had a spare plate made.
That's it. Kendall had a spare, and he stuck it in the corpse's mouth.
And pick up Evie. I want her in protective custody. And put out an APB on Arthur Kendall.
Yes, sir. Boy, an all-points bulletin on a dead man. Wait till they hear this one. Commissioner?
Yeah?
If Arthur Kendall is alive, who's dead?
I'll get the answer to that right now.
Arthur Kendall is dead, Mac. You've got to believe me.
You're lying, Nora. Arthur Kendall is alive, and you're conspiring with him to drive Evie insane.
Oh, Mac, I'm surprised.
Come off it, Nora. School's out.
You don't know what you're saying.
Don't I?
No.
You think an investigation won't prove you and Arthur are having an affair?
Oh, all right. So we had an affair. So what?
So what? Out of that affair came the plan to get Evie's money and take off.
Oh, now you're the one
Of
who's
course,
crazy.
you had to get rid of a husband, and Arthur had to get rid of a wife. It worked out just fine, didn't it?
It isn't.
Get Evie committed! Not too difficult where a man as clever as Arthur is concerned.
Mac, you're wrong.
Am I?
Mm-hmm.
Something went wrong that night at the cabin, didn't it? Your cute little trick backfired, and all of a sudden you're involved in a murder.
Mac, you're wrong. You are dead wrong.
Am I? Why don't we ask Joe? Why don't we call Joe in Hong Kong and ask him? Or maybe we'd be wasting our time because Joe's dead. That is Joe in the coffin, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, that's Joe. Poor dumb Joe. No matter what you think, it started off without wanting anyone dead. It began when Arthur invited Joe and me up to the cabin for the weekend. Joe, he had no idea what was up. He just thought it was fun time.
Then Arthur called Evie and said he was up there.
Yes, that was the plan. When she arrived, I was to say, why, Evie, don't you remember? You phoned me and invited Joe and me to spend the weekend here. Then when she went home, Arthur was going to insist that he hadn't called her at all. He was, at a motel halfway down the mountain, waiting to get the results. But it got late and Joe and I went to bed. Then in the middle of the night, there was a knock on the door, and I told Joe that must be Evie.
Then Arthur planted his own ID on Joe's body. Wristwatch, ring, wallet, and spare dental plate.
Joe's unrecognizable. I don't know how I let Arthur talk me into this. You see, he figured that if Evie wasn't found guilty of murder, he would just destroy her as his own ghost. Clever, huh?
Yeah, clever.
Clever man. And such a good actor. When I phoned him at the motel to tell him what had happened, he really made me believe that he hadn't planned it at all. Actually had me convinced that Evie really had done it. And I used to think Joe was the dumb one.
If Arthur was at the motel, he couldn't have killed Joe.
Then Evie did do it.
Evie's not here, sir. Dr. Spake talked to her on the phone, asked her not to go out tonight, but she wouldn't listen to him. She took a gun. She told him that she was going to go out to the beach house and kill Arthur Kendall. Now, I've looked everywhere for that address, sir, but I can't find it. Dr. Spake doesn't know where it is either. I can't find anybody who does.
Well, I can. You were there 3 or 4 summers ago, Sally. Now try and remember.
I'm trying, Mac. I remember the street, and then I remember I used to turn right at a billboard. I remember the billboard because it used to say Wilson for DA, and that was that guy that you caught trying to bribe the jury.
Well, don't you remember a more current landmark?
Yes, there. Mother Boland's brown bread. Turn right there, right there. This is it, Mac, I'm sure. Oh, Mac, we're too late.
Phone's dead. Call for the car.
It's Arthur. It's Arthur Kendall. It's Evie's.
That's correct, Enright. Yeah, the ambulance is leaving now. Yes, he's alive.
We put out an APB on Mrs. Kendall. And Nora Dane's been booked on criminal conspiracy.
Very good.
Anything else I can do, sir?
Yeah. Get a good night's sleep.
Thank you, sir.
Feel okay?
Poor Evie. Imagine being driven to murder.
You think she shot Arthur?
You don't?
Not with that fight that went on in the house.
Of course, Evie's no match for Arthur. He must have fought with a man.
Or if we believe in the Equal Opportunity Act, a very strong woman.
Mac, come on, you're onto something.
Well, let's start with the murder of Nora's husband, Joe. Nora says she didn't do it. Evie says she didn't do it.
Who do you think's telling the truth?
Well, maybe they both are.
If that's the case, we're out of suspects.
Well, there are plenty of suspects, but we're out of his clues.
Well, anyway, at least Arthur's alive.
At least you don't have to believe in ghosts any. Sally, I love you.
You better. What did I do? at least tell me what I said.
That's what I said.
Central, go ahead, sir.
Sergeant Enright, quickly. Sally, suppose somebody loved Evie very much and knew she was being driven insane.
And he killed Joe that night, thinking it was Arthur?
Suppose Arthur was about to kill Evie, and somebody walked in on him.
They fought, and he got Evie's gun, and he shot him.
Now, what would your average run-of-the-mill killer do in a case like that?
Kill Evie to get rid of all the witnesses.
Unless he thought she was the most beautiful, most exquisite woman in the world.
Harry Hastings.
Enright, sir.
Sergeant, get a squad and meet me at Harry Hastings immediately.
Yes, sir.
You stay here.
But Mac...
Wait in the car and wait for the police.
As you know, I'm not frightened, but I'll just stay with you so you can see I'm not frightened.
Come on.
Tell me those are not bats.
Okay, they're not bats.
Mac, why is he doing this?
Because they're the weapons he knows the best. Come on, do you think he can make it?
Evie!
My last illusion. She isn't dead. She's just resting. She'll wake up in a few minutes.
Is that the only way you could get her to come with you? Hypnosis?
Well, fortunately, Mac, it's part of my trade. You see, mesmerizing an audience helps create certain illusions, makes them quite real, quite real. You agree, don't you, Sally? Mac?
Mac, he's hypnotizing us.
Harry, forget it.
Yes, of course. You're too strong a substance.
No use, Harry. Police are on their way.
The police? I've catacombs here. I have underground passages. You'll not be able to find me. I'm going to keep her here. She's going to be with me. She'll be mine. I'm going to protect her. I'm going to protect her from all of you. See, Mac, it's so simple. I love her. I have always loved her. I tried to explain that to her, that I didn't want her to be hurt anymore. No, Mac, don't do it.
Harry, think of Evie. Think how she'll feel when she finds out you've killed us. Evie won't love you anymore.
Oh, yes, she'll understand. She doesn't trust you anymore. She'll trust me now. No. I'm the one she called when she went to meet Arthur at the beach house. It was me.
Then why hypnotize her? It's because she stopped trusting you when she saw you shoot Arthur. And she'll hate you if you do this, Harry.
No.
She'll hate you forever.
No, Matt,
she'll
don't say
hate
it.
you.
Don't say it, Joe. She won't hate me. She'll love me. She will love me.
How do you like my fine feathered friend?
Be glad you don't have to clean his cage. There. Careful.
You're gonna be all right, Evie.
Harry.
For a minute. Didn't even act like a regular ghost. Showing up at a seance and accusing somebody of murder who didn't even do it.
Arthur thought Evie had done it.
Well, how could he think that when he wasn't even dead?
Oh, Evie, that's marvelous.
And that Harry Hastings, what did he think when the ghost said Evie murdered him?
Well, what do you think? He thought he'd gotten away with it.
Well, if Arthur really had been dead, he could have used his supernatural powers.
Harry didn't think about that.
Okay, bye, Evie. Evie sends you 40 million kisses, and I'm to deliver them personally.
Oh, Mildred.
Yeah, right. Good night. Oh, do you think it's safe to take the hemlock off the door?
Yes, Mildred. And the juniper, and the henbane.
Right.
Okay, Mr. Smart Guy, before all this kissing starts, give a girl a break. What was the big clue that made all the lights pop on and say Harry Hastings?
You don't know?
I don't know.
You almost guessed it yourself.
I know. I almost guessed it was something that you said when they put Arthur in the ambulance.
I said you don't have to believe in ghosts anymore.
Of course, Harry Hastings believed completely in the ghost of Arthur Kendall because he believed that he had killed him. Oh, I should have gotten there.
Hey. 40 million, right here.
Coming, Master.
Sir, reverse. Hurry up. Yes, sir. Use my gun, sir. I don't
904, 904, code 2, Marina Drive. Come on, let's go.
Beautiful shot, sir. Right in the tire.
I was aiming for the windshield.
There's just one thing I've got to know, sir. How'd you know it was the Mullaney brothers?
Well, the important thing is we caught him.
Oh, no, sir. The important thing is that you made my weekend. The chief said that if we cracked this case, I was invited to his houseboat. 2 days in the sun. Closed eyes, open beer, and you're welcome too, sir.
No, I've got something far more exciting to do. Saturday brunch at my mother-in-law's.
I think it's very sweet of my mother to have us over to brunch today.
It's very sweet of your mother to have us over for brunch today.
Why are you acting this way?
What way?
As though you had to go to the dentist. Every time you have a dental appointment, you get that look on your face. And don't ask me what look. You know what look.
As if I'd rather be going any place else.
Exactly.
Any place, that is, except to my mother-in-law's for Saturday brunch.
You like my mother.
I adore your mother. Everybody knows I only married you to be next to your mother. She's a warm, charming, delightful woman, and I love her desperately. But she's the world's worst cook. If she weren't my mother-in-law, I'd have her arrested for what she does in the kitchen. She could get 1 to 10 just for her tuna fish.
You're exaggerating. You still got it.
I have.
Mm-hmm. Imagine an old married lady like me and I still hear bells when you kiss me.
What's even more amazing, I hear bells when he kisses you. Hello.
Mom.
Hi, come on in. You're just in time. I just took the muffins out of the oven. And it's such a lovely day, I thought we'd eat on the terrace.
Oh, what a nice idea. It'll be like a picnic.
Mind if I and the aunts don't show up?
You want a bet?
Did you say something?
Oh, Mother, it was nothing important. It was just Mac making another one of his indecent propositions. Man's terribly oversexed, you know.
How delightful.
How about we have a toast? May we all be in heaven 30 minutes before the devil knows we're dead.
Skull.
Here's mud in your eye.
I thought it was a wonderful toast. Enright taught it to me. It's Irish. He taught me a curse. You want to hear it? It's a corker.
What's a brunch without a curse?
May you die and be reincarnated as a chandelier.
A chandelier?
Hang by day and burn by night.
And that's Irish?
Jewish.
Enright gets around.
Thanks, Mother.
Now I know you level that curse at.
I heard that, Mac. You haven't even given my eggs a chance.
That makes both of us.
You like them. I put in something new.
The shells.
Doesn't everyone?
Ah, my favorite. Shoelaces and eggs.
Half right. Try again.
Okay, shoelaces and give up.
Shall we?
Must we?
You certainly raised him properly.
It wasn't easy. Time was, you couldn't take him anyway.
It must have been terrible for you, dear.
How is it that all women have the capacity for making a full-grown, mature male feel as though he's only 8.5 years old?
Oh, did you see? We got our pictures in the Daily Post at the charity ball.
It looks like I have a double chin.
Nonsense, it's just a shadow. Doesn't Mac look nice in his tuxedo? Mm-hmm. Oh, I almost forgot. The editorials about Mac.
What does it say?
They were commending Mac for his speech the other night at the Chamber of Commerce. Something about,
No, thank you.
cracking down on police corruption.
What police corruption?
Leave it to the Daily Post. It came to my attention that off-duty cops never get traffic tickets, and I'm against that kind of favoritism. I don't care who it is behind the wheel. A moving violation is a moving violation. If anything, we've got to be tougher on ourselves and each other, because we're supposed to be setting an example. Thank you very much.
Bravo. Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be. He loved it.
Well, it had nothing to do with police corruption. The Post just burns me up.
Who's that? Oh, excuse me.
It really is pretty awful, isn't it?
If the chickens knew about your mother, they wouldn't even bother laying the things. I didn't know that Betty Crocker married Attila the Hun. Did you?
Oh, Francesca, that's awful.
I'm just beside myself, Emily.
Of course you are. Oh, Johnny, we'll help. Wait. This is my friend Francesca Fairborn. She lives downstairs in 9A. It seems Francesca's dog has been kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
Dog-napped? Is that a word?
How do you know your dog just didn't get lost? I mean, if you checked with the pound.
I don't need to. I received a ransom note. That's why I brought my troubles to my friend Emily here. I don't keep that kind of money in the apartment.
Francesca, this is my daughter, Sally, and her husband, Stuart McMillan.
Yes, yes.
How much are they asking?
100.
Yeah, it's become a real problem. A lot of drug addicts have been stealing dogs and then selling them back for $100, $200.
$100,000.
$100,000?
For a dog?
Not just a dog. It is the Princess Anastasia. But even the Queen of England doesn't have a lineage like hers.
$100,000.
Can you describe her?
Oh, her breed is Pekingese. Her coat is cinnamon with just a touch of fawn.
You mean brown?
It has the luster of silk. Oh, and the way she walked. So dainty. So a true princess.
Well, from your description, Mrs. Fairborn, I'm sorry, but all I seem to be able to understand is unless you really knew your dog, why, it would look pretty much like your everyday cinnamon Pekingese.
Perhaps it would help if I described my husband, George. He is 6 feet tall. He has curly hair and blue eyes.
You've lost me. I mean, why would it help us find your dog if we knew what your husband looked like?
Oh, they took him, too.
We have the one you love. Get $100,000. Don't call the police. You'll hear from us soon. When did you receive this?
I found it in my mailbox shortly before I went up to Emily's.
How long has Mr. Fairborn been missing?
Well, George was taking Anastasia to see Dr. Carmichael for a checkup this morning. But actually, the last time I saw either of them was about 8 o'clock last night. But I wasn't feeling well, and I took a sleeping powder. Anastasia.
Mrs. Fairborn, about your husband.
Come. Where did I put... Oh, yes. Here is the princess. And I have others, too.
What a lovely bed you have here.
We enjoy it. Oh, the poor sensitive darling. I know she won't sleep a wink till I get her home again.
Mrs. Fairborn, you don't seem to realize that your husband's life is in danger.
Here is a picture of the princess when she is just 3 months old.
Would you by any chance have a photograph of...
Is it?
Lying around?
Of whom?
Your husband.
Oh, of course not. Well, now, wait just a moment. I think I may have one in the living room. Please, might we adjourn? I would like to adjourn. I don't want the princess to return to a germ-laden boudoir. She is so susceptible. Please, do come. Do hurry, please. There he is, holding Anastasia.
It has been a great comfort for me to share the princess at this time of anguish. It's almost like having her here with me. Thank you, Mrs. Mackenzie. Thank you, Mr. Mackenzie.
The name, Mrs. Fairborn, is not Mackenzie, it's McMillan. Stuart McMillan.
How nice.
I'm the commissioner of police.
Police? Ah, well, I assume you will treat this matter with confidence.
Well, it is a police matter, you understand.
You are in my home because you are Emily's son-in-law. You are privy to certain confidences because of that relationship. Not because you are police commissar.
Commissioner?
Whatever. Not being a member of the criminal element, it is of no interest to me who is on the police force. Good day.
A kidnapping, Mrs. Fairborn, is police business. Now, if you don't mind, I would like to take this ransom note down to police headquarters for laboratory analysis.
I most certainly do mind.
I can assure you that the police will do nothing to interfere with...
The police are already interfering. Now, if you will excuse me.
Where are we going?
See, Yackel, I hate to ruin his weekend.
Watch your fingers. Why?
This isn't my day.
Why?
Why isn't it my day, or why do I hate to ruin his weekend?
The latter. Why are we dashing off to see him?
Well, granted, he's not much to look at, but he is my chief of police.
Yes, but why are we going to see him now?
Because it's Saturday and it's a perfect time to discuss a kidnapping.
Mrs. Fairborn doesn't want the police involved.
I heard her, Sally. With these ears of mine, I heard her. Just so happens that these ears are attached to the commissioner of police.
I know, darling. Very nicely, too. But they also belong to Emily's son-in-law, and that's who Mrs. Fairborn was confiding in.
It's the kidnappers who don't want the police involved. Bank robbers and murderers feel exactly the same way. They think we're a real nuisance, too.
It's just, Mac, that morally, no, I think I mean ethically. Oh, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. But Mrs. Fairborn wasn't talking to the police. She was talking to you, Stuart McMillan.
Wrong again. She was talking to some guy named Mackenzie.
You have a very unfair way of winning an argument.
Thank you.
Mac, you said it yourself. She was talking to a man named Mackenzie, so in a sense, you were wiretapping, only without the wires.
We'll argue the ethics of playing old wiretapping later. That is, you and Mr. Mackenzie can argue about it. And the commissar will be busy trying to earn his salary. No, I don't want to discuss it anymore.
That's because you know I'm right?
Sally.
I should worry. I have a clear conscience. I can sleep at night.
Wait here. Pardon me.
Yes, sir.
Did you happen to see Mr. Fairborn this morning?
Yes, I believe it was around 9 or 9:30.
And did he have his dog with him?
Let's see, he checked his mailbox, then he went down to the garage to get his Jaguar. And as I remember, yes, he did have that thing with him.
What thing?
The dog, if you can call that thing a dog. Me, I got a German Shepherd home that eats more than that for breakfast. You can't call that scroungy thing a dog. It's more like a pet rat, if you know what I mean. Now you take my German Shepherd. There's a dog that a man doesn't mind being seen in public with, if you get what I mean.
I believe I do.
And his name is Duke.
That's a very nice name.
That's what all his friends call John Wayne, you know, Duke.
I've heard that. What time is the mail delivered?
About 9 or 10. But Duke, that's a name that a man isn't ashamed of. Now, hey, Duke! Run over Duke! Move Duke! Kill Duke! If you get my drift.
It would be well nigh impossible not to see what you mean or to get your drift. If you see what I mean. Thank you.
Nice fella. I think he gets what I mean.
You're not healing.
Oh, very funny. Where are we going?
Yackel's houseboat.
Mrs. Fairborn said
Sally, I thought we had that all settled.
I will not be party to a breach of ethics.
Are you telling me you won't drive me to Yackel's?
I will not drive the police commissioner to Yackel's. I will not be party to a...
Okay. St. Sally of Assisi. I'll drive.
involved, I wouldn't involve the police. I'd just pay the money. All that would matter to me would be your safety.
You, of all people, Sally, should know better. The police would never do anything to jeopardize the victim's safety. It's a police policy to stay in the background until the victim is safe.
Mac.
I don't want to discuss it anymore.
I know, darling, but I think that he would like to discuss something with you.
He who?
He, him, that's who.
Oh.
He says to go there, Mac. Did you bring your license?
Yes, I have my license.
I'm afraid you missed the turnoff for the Indianapolis a couple of blocks back, fella.
Is that so?
Yeah, boy, the way you were zipping down that highway. You're the commissioner, aren't you? Sure is a nice day, isn't it?
Very nice.
A nice day for a drive. I mean, on a day like this, I guess anybody would just like to go zipping along the highway.
Was I speeding?
Well, we don't want to make a federal case out of it. Have a nice day, Commissioner.
Officer.
Yes, sir.
Aren't you going to write me up?
Write you up?
You're aware of my recent edict?
Oh, yes, you mean about no favoritism when it comes to traffic violations.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, yes, I'm quite aware of it, sir. I read it several times.
Didn't you think I meant it?
Oh, yes, sir. Of course you did, sir.
Well, then, write me up.
Are you sure you won't have any afterthoughts? I mean, people do change their mind.
No, I won't change my mind.
It's human nature to change your mind.
Officer, you were doing your duty.
Oh, yes, sir. If you say so, sir. I'll put you down as being very cooperative.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure. I mean, it's an honor. I mean, you're welcome. Your license will be returned to you at the hearing. That's part of your new system.
Yes, I remember.
Well, see ya.
Officer.
Huh? Oh, the ticket.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. You stuck to your guns even when they were aimed at you.
Without a license, you're not allowed to drive. And if you recall, I got your license.
I'll drive, officer.
You got a license, ma'am?
Yes, officer.
Fine. Well, I'll see you.
I could take a cab.
I'd rather you paid me than some strange cab driver.
I hear the fares have gone up.
We rely on tips. Please don't fool with the meter while our cab is in motion.
Hi, Commissioner.
Hi.
Hi, Mac. Sally? Hey, come on aboard and have a beer.
Sorry, it's not a social visit.
Oh, what's up?
Francesca Fairborn, you heard of her?
Oh, sure.
Kidnapping. Her husband. They're demanding $100,000. The ransom note warned her not to call the police, and that's the way she wants to play it.
Man, that's the way the kidnappers want her to play it, too. Doesn't she realize the risk she's taking, not letting us in on it? Somebody's got to convince her that their lives at stake here.
Sally, why don't you convince Francesca Fairborn?
How can I convince her when I'm not convinced myself?
What aren't you convinced of?
That the police should be involved.
Oh, Sally, this is a serious crime.
It's just that Mrs. Fairborn wants to handle this herself, and it seems to me that...
If Mrs. Fairborn wants to handle it herself, that lets the kidnappers free to kidnap someone else, or to take her money and not return her husband, or to just raise the ante. Does Mrs. Fairborn want to handle that?
He's absolutely right. Well, he is.
You know, Sally, your father taught me never to play high-stakes poker with a stranger. And I think the high stake here is a man's life.
I'll talk to my mother. Maybe she'll swing more weight with Mrs. Fairborn.
Atta slugger, why don't you do it now? Come on, Enright. You and me have to see a man about a dog.
Yeah, well, there goes the weekend.
Are you shopping or just looking, sir?
The doorman said Fairborn drove a Jag. This is his. Have it impounded.
Yes, sir.
What do you want?
Mr. McMillan is here to see you. He says it's a police matter.
This is Belinsky. Dr. Carmichael's busy.
So am I. Has Mr. Fairborn been in today?
No, I don't believe so.
The men are on the way to pick up Fairborn's car, sir, and I told them to check out everything completely. A real thorough check. You know, fingerprints, carpet stains, ashtrays, tire treads, glove compartment, the whole works. You know, these guys usually don't leave any Gesundheit service behind, but it never hurts to give a complete check. Like the commissioner's told me many times, you know, police work is merely Gesundheit, sir, the putting together of 1,000 little clues into one great big fact. In fact,
Thank you, Sergeant.
Enright, Sergeant.
How do you do, Enright?
You McMillan?
I am Commissioner of Police.
Well, I am Dr. Langston Carmichael. Whatever it is you have to say better be pretty important. I've got one sick bunny in there.
Has George Fairborn been in here today?
No, he hasn't. He was supposed to be. That is, the princess was supposed to come in for her checkup. But they haven't arrived. Never even phoned to cancel.
His car's in your parking lot.
Oh, fascinating.
Yes, it is.
Now, if your curiosity is satisfied, we have work to do. Mr. McMillan, we are here to cure illness, not to inflict it. Come, Bernie. We've a bunny to save.
Well, it must be a nice business.
How do you mean?
Well, even if you lose the patient, you still have the makings of a good stew. Sayonara.
Hello. This is Dr. Carmichael. Yes. The police were just here.
How's it coming?
Almost ready, sir.
I'll make a snap. Sally, Mother, Mrs. Fairborn, I'm glad you decided to cooperate.
Well, I already ruled that decision. All these strangers milling about, everything topsy-turvy. I only did it for dear Emily.
Have you raised the ransom?
Yes, well, nearly. My attorney, Rudolph Dimrose, is bringing by the final 20,000.
The wiretap's all ready, sir. It starts automatically.
Oh, good.
Now, what do we do next?
We wait for the phone to ring. And then we let it ring twice. Then you must keep them talking as long as you can. Do you understand?
Yes.
But don't let them get suspicious. Play it cool.
Certainly. Cool. Yes? No, Oh, for heaven's sake. Lucille, really, I can't just... But... No. I didn't know. Oh, well, I really have no hope for that marriage in the first place, dear.
Mrs. Fairborn.
Dear, could you please call me back later? Ciao. That is Lucille Shortle. She's the most horrible gossip in the whole world. My dear, you just should have seen what went on at Beritzla. These two people, they absolutely were impossible. I never talk about my...
Mrs. Fairborn, quickly.
Well, I told her to call back later. Yes?
Mrs. Fairborn?
Yes.
You got the money?
No, I haven't raised the money yet.
You called the police?
It is Saturday after all, you... No, I have not contacted the police. Please, how is my dark... He hung up.
Did the voice sound familiar to you?
It was a man's voice. I didn't recognize it.
Why don't I make some coffee? I'm sure we could all use some. Come, show me where you keep everything.
Yes. I think it's beginning to hit her.
Yes. Getting the note is one thing. It's impersonal. Like something you read about happening to someone else.
And she thought she wanted to handle it herself.
I think it's hitting me, too. Knowing there's somebody out there playing a cat and mouse game like that.
Maybe we should take you home.
Who are you? Rudolph Demrose. I'm here to see Mrs. Fairborn.
Rudolph.
Francesca.
Oh, how dear of you to come. Rudolph, I would like you to meet Mr. and Mrs. Carlton Mackenzie.
For you.
So thoughtful.
And the money, so difficult to raise on a Saturday. Made me nervous just carrying such an amount on my person. The streets have become a virtual jungle.
A virtual jungle.
Come on, Jane. It's time to go back to our treehouse.
I'll take her home, then, right? I'll be right back. Who does he think he is? Who does he think he is, making a remark like that about our city? What's his name? Dim? What's his name? Dim?
Rose. Matt.
Dim Rose. Get in the car, Sally. He called our city a virtual jungle. I checked the other cities. He thinks he's been around all over the place. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Mac.
Who does he think he is?
You've forgotten. You've been grounded, Commissar.
Oh.
I feel so sorry for Mrs. Fairborn. It's so cruel somebody just taking over with somebody like that.
She doesn't care a thing about her husband or anything.
Mac.
What?
Look! It's that dog, the princess, and then there's a man chasing her.
No, Sally, go after the dog, not the man. You, hold it.
Princess, heel. Oh, my heel. Wait a minute! Princess! Wait a minute! Princess!
princess.
Princess, little champion, champion. Where are you, little champion? Princess, princess. Ooh, ooh, princess. Princess, hi. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Come here. I got you, princess. I got you.
Mac.
Ah, Sally. Where's the dog you were chasing?
Home, where she belongs. Mac.
Oh, yeah.
Mugged by a Pekingese.
She's a jolly good fellow. She's a jolly good fellow. She's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. Which nobody can deny.
Hi, Commissioner. Wait to get a load of this.
She's a jolly good fellow. She's a jolly good fellow.
I suppose you know that Her Highness has returned. What do you make of it, sir?
Well, she must have escaped somehow. The fellow was chasing her, got away. I didn't get a good look at him.
Which nobody can deny.
Mr. Mackenzie, champagne, the princess is back.
She's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. Which nobody can deny. Which nobody can deny.
Mrs. Fairborn, answer the telephone.
Oh, which nobody can deny. Nobody can deny. Which nobody can deny. Yes?
Mrs. Fairborn,
This is Francesca Fairborn.
$100,000.
Yes, I have. Collected the entire amount.
You'll get instruction.
No. No, I wouldn't be the slightest bit interested in your instructions. The one I love is safe, thank heavens. Say something, darling. If you think that philandering fortune hunter you're holding is worth $100,000, I suggest you keep him. Ciao. You wish to handle this case? Well, your wish is granted. All that matters is the princess is back. That and getting her groomed in time for the dog show Sunday.
We were talking about a human being, your own husband.
He was my indulgence. A momentary lapse in judgment on my part. Let's say a cream puff one allows oneself in the middle of an otherwise very, very strict diet. I'm certain that you understand, don't you, dear?
I certainly do, Francesca.
But your husband is in danger.
Never fear. George is the kind of man who will die in bed.
Shot to death by an irate husband, no doubt.
You were willing to pay $100,000 for this little pile of hair, but not for your own husband?
This little piece of hair is worth 100,000, George Fairborn.
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit. Gesundheit, Mac.
Dear Rudolph, please, would you keep the ransom money until Monday? I don't have a safe. I wouldn't sleep a wink knowing there was that much money in the apartment.
Francesca, would it be awful of me not to? I don't have a safe at home either. And there have been so many burglaries in my area.
We have a safe. Don't we, Mac?
Yes. We have a safe. I'll keep it until Monday.
Under the circumstances, this is indeed very kind of you, Mr. Mackenzie.
McMillan.
Oh.
This belongs to you, I believe.
Would you mind terribly keeping it for me, too? It isn't all mine, and I'd feel better if I knew it was safe.
Until Monday morning, Mrs. Fairborn.
Thank you.
Mr. McMillan, we'd appreciate a receipt. It is $100,000. And even police commissioners, after all, are only human and therefore subject to temptation.
I know what you mean. Like right now, I'm really tempted to
Mac.
give you a receipt. I presume the count is accurate. Mrs. Fairborn, won't you reconsider? The kidnappers might call back. This money could mean the difference. Now, however you feel about your husband, surely you wouldn't want to be responsible for his death.
Well, perhaps I was a bit hasty. We are exhausted. If we could just lie down,
All right, I'm going to the office. If they call back, call me right away, day or night, please.
Please, will you excuse us? Of course, darling.
Good night, darling.
Anne? Anne?
Mac, it's Saturday. You're closed. There is no Ann.
Sure there is. You. Now, look, do me a favor, Anne. Help me make a lot of calls, will you?
Right, Commissioner.
I don't understand. That woman, how could your mother have such a friend? What does she mean I'll have to think about it? What's there to think about? Doesn't she realize her husband could...
Could be what? Could be killed, Mac.
Of course he could be killed. Now, let's do everything we can. You know how to use a call director?
No, but it doesn't look too complicated.
Okay, then get me Enright, file room, and police garage.
It's getting complicated.
Find all the numbers in the Rolodex.
Mac,
What?
where's the Rolodex?
Under the typewriter table. When you get a number, buzz me.
Mac?
What?
What's your number?
It's in the Rolodex.
Mac, you're impossible.
That's possible.
Mac, another light went on. What does that mean?
What?
Oh, it's you. Hi.
Hi. Are you getting me a number or not?
Yes, I got you in right. I think. 2007.
Hello, Enright? Hello? You disconnected me. Sally. Sally. Sally,
Yes,
you disconnected me.
I did.
Why didn't you answer the buzzer?
Nothing buzzed.
Nothing buzzed. It always buzzes.
Why don't you sit here and I'll go in there and try the buzzer and we'll see whether or not it works or not, okay?
Okay.
It's a good way to find out.
Are you buzzing me?
Yes, dear.
Okay, you win.
Would you like me to get you in right now?
Yes, please.
What's his number?
553. I'll get it. He's not in. Give me the police garage.
You said the file room.
Okay, the file room.
Here's the file room.
Sammy? Yes, of course I'm in the office. Now, I want an immediate rundown on Francesca Fairborn, George Fairborn, her husband, Rudolph Dimrose, her attorney, and Langston Carmichael, he's a veterinarian, and his assistant, something Ski, Belinsky, Bernie Belinsky, right. Oh, he is, good. Send him up. Enright's here. Now get me the...
Police garage.
Okay. Hello. Hey, you're getting good.
Thank you.
But not perfect. Who am I talking to? Oh, Jeffrey's good. This is Mac. By any remote chance, is there an M.O. on kidnappers who take dogs, or raise dogs, or use dogs, or own Pekinese, Pekini? Find out everything as soon as you can.
I was working on the background checks when you called, sir. Here they are now.
How you doing, Sergeant?
Names, addresses, birthplaces, birth dates.
There's something strange about the ransom note, sir. It read, we have the one you love. I would have written, we have your husband.
Well, maybe they thought that she loved him. Oh, well, some women love their husbands. It's been known to happen.
Do you think they could have known they were going to kidnap him at the dog kennel parking lot, sir?
It's more than likely. It's a good choice. Saturday morning, the whole area is deserted.
Yeah, well, then someone must have told them. I'll have to run a check on all of Fairborn's friends.
Right. Call me the minute you find anything. We'll be home all evening.
Mildred, Mr. McMillan might receive an urgent telephone call in the middle of the night, so don't be frightened. We'll take it.
Okay, if that's the way you want it.
Mac,
Hmm?
what do you think is going to happen to him now?
We'd lucky to be run over by a car.
Fairborn?
No, Dimrose.
I'm talking about Fairborn.
Oh, well, hard to say.
You don't think they'll kill him, do you? Isn't that be awful? Mac, you've got to convince Mrs. Fairborn in the morning. How could somebody do such a thing to their own husband?
Who did what to whose husband?
It's nothing, Mildred.
Oh, sure. And I was born yesterday. The missus sits here like the guest of honor at a wake, talking about some grisly business, and the police commissioner tells me it's nothing.
Don't stand on ceremony, Mildred. Pour yourself a drink and join us.
No thanks, I already have one. Well, what is it, homicide?
Kidnapping.
Oh, yeah? I just finished a kidnapping. I prefer a good homicide.
Mildred, how can you read those books? Don't they give you nightmares?
No, but the newspapers do. All those unsolved crimes. Doesn't happen that way in my book. They always get the guilty party. No matter how clever they are, they always slip up. As Inspector Gerard always says,
I love you.
the criminal is a flawed individual. The problem is simply in discovering that flaw. Oh, there's too much vermouth in that. Inspector Gerard's a wonderful man. You'd like him. He lives all alone except for his faithful housekeeper, Agnes. Oh, he was married, but his wife was killed in the war. They were in the resistance together. I don't think there's anything going on between him and Agnes, but then you never know. I mean, they're both French, you know what I mean?
Two, 5. Mac, suppose Mrs. Fairborn won't change her mind. 10.
I think she will.
16.
I'm worried that the kidnappers
20.
might not call back.
25. Oh, they have to.
I hope you're right.
Strange.
What?
You always take your left shoe off first. Were you aware of that?
No, and I will not turn into a creature of habit,
Habits aren't so bad.
like lying about one's push-ups.
You've got a bunch of nifty ones I wouldn't change for the world. Oh.
You got some nifty habits, too.
Don't you think the kidnappers will try one more time to make a deal? I mean, maybe come down in price. I would.
What?
Try again. I mean, they've gone to a lot of trouble to just take one no for an answer. Don't you agree?
It's hard to say.
Well, the first rule of salesmanship is never take no for an answer.
Mrs. Fairborn. Shut the door, Sally. Don't touch anything. Mrs. Fairborn. Stay here, Sally. Sally. Mrs. Fairborn.
What's happened?
She's dead. She's dead.
Oh, Mac.
Sally, answer the telephone. Why? If it's the kidnappers, tell them we have the money. We're ready to go through with the payoff.
Okay, you ready? Yeah. Hello?
Mrs. Fairborn.
No, this isn't Mrs. Fairborn. I'm a friend of hers, but don't hang up. I have the money. She's had an accident, but she wants to ransom her husband.
$100,000?
$100,000, that's right.
Get your instructions.
When?
We'll call you back.
When will you call back?
We'll call you back.
No, I'll be here. I hung up. I'm so frightened.
You did fine, honey. Sergeant Enright, please.
What am I going to say when they call back?
Just fine. Enright, Francesca Fairborn's been murdered. Get over here right away. Charlie, that voice on the telephone, does it sound familiar to you?
No, I don't think so. Did it sound like he was talking through a handkerchief or something?
Maybe. It's something about it. I can swear I heard that voice before.
Oh, God bless you, Mac. It sounds like you're coming down with something. You've been sneezing like that for 2 days.
No, I feel fine. I must be allergic to that dog.
You're not allergic to me.
I just gotta be that dog.
You're not allergic to dogs.
No, I didn't. Must be that perfumey stuff the vet sprayed on. You think I sneeze here. You should hear how I sneeze in Carmichael's office. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That voice on the telephone.
Dr. Carmichael.
No. His assistant, a guy named, something, Ski, Berlinski, What's the name of the vet's assistant?
Bernie Belinsky.
Belinsky.
Where is she?
She's in the bedroom.
Okay, fellas.
Belinsky's about the same size as the guy I chased. Enright. Yes. Sally, could you stay here in case the kidnapper should call back?
Of course.
Okay, Enright and I have been out of visit Carmichael.
Okay, maybe I'll call Mother to come and sit with me.
Good idea. You could be all right. Now stay out of that bedroom.
You think they'll be open on Sundays?
Of course. A sick bunny doesn't care what day it is.
The question is, sir, why would anyone want to kill Mrs. Fairborn?
It's a good question.
Well, it could have been someone who wanted the $100,000, or it could have been the kidnappers.
No, it couldn't have been the kidnappers. They called after she was dead.
Well, then it must have been someone who was after the money. That's why that apartment was such a mess, sir. They didn't know you'd already taken it.
Maybe.
Maybe? That's not a very definite answer.
No, but it's a definite maybe.
Belinsky.
Now, just what's going on here?
He's dead.
Don't want to do such a thing.
I was going to ask you the same thing. Did he have any enemies? Any friends?
I knew little about his personal life. I can't believe he had any enemies.
Well, he had one.
Yeah. You see, you've already heard. The animals adored him. Animals, you know, have a sixth sense.
Ow! The bugger bit me.
It seems such a long time ago. Poor Francesco's ringing my bell. It seems years ago. And it was only yesterday morning. She had her faults, but she was a friend.
Mother, you shouldn't dwell on it.
How she loved that animal.
I know.
She was so proud. The ribbons, the trophies. You know what? I'm going to enter Anastasia in that dog show.
Oh, Mother.
It was so important to Francesca. For months, that's all she talked about.
You don't know the first thing about dog shows.
I know it's the Nob Hill Dog Show, and I know it's taking place tomorrow afternoon at Civic Hall. I assume that's all I have to know. After all, they won't be judging me.
Lucky for Anastasia, you'd be best in show, hands down.
What a daughter.
All right, everybody freeze. Are you okay, Mrs. McMillan?
I'm okay. Here we go. Hello? It's him. Yes, I have the money. No, I don't have it on me. But I can get it, though. Tomorrow. Where? The docks. Oh, no, I'm afraid that would be entirely unsuitable. The dog show. The dog show at Civic Hall, 2 o'clock. Take it or leave it. Yes, I'll have the money in a paper bag. What do I look like? What do I look like? Well, I'm a girl. Oh. Well, I'm about 5 feet 8 inches tall. I have long brown hair. Actually, it's not long. It's long in the back, but it's kind of shaggy in the front. I have that new cut. It looks kind of good.
Question is, sir, was Belinsky killed because he was involved in the kidnapping of Mr. Fairborn or because he was involved with the murder of Mrs. Fairborn?
The answer is probably yes to both. He was killed because he was involved in the kidnapping and knew about the murder.
Yeah,
Commissioner, your wife is on the phone.
Near the judge's stand. Okay.
Sally.
Mac, that was just the kidnappers that called. They wanted me to deliver the money to the docks tomorrow.
Good. It's isolated. Yake will like that.
He will?
Makes it easy to maintain surveillance.
Oh.
Oh? What do you mean, oh?
Oh, I mean, I told you what he said. I didn't tell you what I said.
Oh?
I told him that I'd deliver it to the dog show.
Oh. Well, you're not delivering it. We'll have a policewoman do it.
Oh, no, I have to do it. You see, I described myself. I even told him about my picture in the paper. If some other woman shows up, he'll know it's a trap. It's got to be me.
It's all that confusion, Sally, all those people. It's too dangerous. No.
We can't just let Mr. Fairborn die.
I really don't care what arrangements have been made. You have no right to use that money, Commissioner.
I think I have. And I have every confidence that Mr. Fairborn would back me up in this matter.
I am certain that he would, but speaking as executor of Mrs. Fairborn's estate, I can assure you that he's not one of the heirs and would be in no position to make restitution should the ransom not be recovered.
When I last spoke with Mrs. Fairborn, she indicated a change of heart. I got the impression that she decided to ransom her husband.
I disagree.
But morally...
I am not a priest, Mrs. McMillan. I'm a lawyer. And legally, I'm saying that your husband will be held responsible if anything should happen to that money. Are you prepared for that contingency?
Tell me, if the kidnappers decide to kill Fairborn, are you prepared to accept the responsibility for his death? Come on, Sally. Now, don't be nervous.
I won't.
Just be cool. You've been under surveillance at all times.
I know.
And don't be scared. There's absolutely nothing to worry about.
Mac,
What?
if you tell me one more time there's nothing to worry about, I have a hunch I'm going to begin to worry.
It's nearly 2 o'clock. Mrs. McMillan, now you be very, very careful. There's nothing to worry about.
Thank you, Sergeant. Here I go. Thanks, Mac.
She's quite a girl. She's got the moxie of a Marine.
Yeah, but some legs on that Marine. Well, I mean, even without the moxie, she'd still be quite a Marine. Girl.
Francis X. Loman, please report to the superintendent's office. Albert McTaggart, report to Silky Terrier Ring number 2. Collie dogs to be judged next in ring number 4. Margaret Wells, last call for German Shepherd number 52.
Hi, Mom. Hello, bad casualty. Good luck, Anastasia. Be careful here.
Judge John Dillon to ring number 7. Calling Old English Sheepdog number 24 to ring number 3. Francis X. Loman, please report to the superintendent's office.
Hello, Doc. How's your bun?
Oh, very well, thank you. I'm Shirley.
Albert McTaggart, report to Silky Terrier, ring number 2.
What's the matter, sir?
I think Carmichael uses dog spray for cologne.
Look, I'm going to go around that way again.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan?
Yes.
Collie dogs to be judged next in ring number 4.
Fellow told me there's a phone call for you in the lobby.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Margaret Wells, the last call for German Shepherd number 52. Obedience dogs number 81, 95, and 27. Ring number 5.
Sally, you all right?
He got the money, Mac. There he is. There he goes, Mac. The man in the red coat.
Hey, you! Somebody stop up there! On your feet! You're under arrest!
Hey, what's going on here?
We'll ask the questions here.
Commissioner.
What is it?
That's our lunch. Fifi's and mine.
Why were you running?
Because you were chasing me.
Oh.
Why were you chasing me?
The bag.
You thought I swiped your lunch? Would you care for half? It's only tuna fish.
No. Yeah, thanks. What happened back there?
Oh, well, it seems our friend came up with a very unique distraction. A couple of lady dogs in the mood for love, you know what I mean?
Is it all right if I go now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm very sorry.
I hope you find your lunch.
He's a good-natured fella.
Yeah, considering you just mugged him.
You know what?
What?
The human race neglects its real heroes, you know that?
I'll buy that. Any hero in particular?
Well, the man who invented the martini, for one. Every park has a statue. Every statue of some guy sitting on a horse with his sword at his side. Where, oh where, is the statue of the man who first rode into battle armed with only 6 parts gin and a squidge of vermouth?
Here, here. I'm with you. I couldn't have said it better myself.
I'll get it.
Okay.
Hello? Yes? Right. 20 minutes.
What's the matter?
It was Yackel. Fairborn's turned up.
Commissioner.
What's the story? A patrolman over at North Beach spotted him when he was grazed by a car. He thought he was drunk. He was staggering around, his clothes were a mess, but when he questioned him, he found out it was Fairborn. How is he? Oh, he's all right. Cuts and bruises. Doctor says he was drugged, but he'll be okay by tonight or tomorrow. Was any help at all?
According to the officer who found him, Fairborn wasn't very much help at all. He remembered parking his car at the vet's, and that's it.
Maybe when he wakes up, he'll remember some more.
Yeah, that's a maybe, but there's one thing for sure.
When he wakes up, somebody's got to tell him that his wife's been murdered.
Who could do such a thing?
We don't know yet. We'd like to ask you who'd do such a thing.
I don't know. She could be outrageous. It was just her way. But she never hurt anyone. No one could hold a grudge against Francesca. Could it have been a robbery?
Could have. Your apartment was ransacked. But until you check things over, we won't know if anything's missing.
The doctor says I can go home later today. I'll check things out and let you know.
We'd appreciate that.
Look, thanks for coming here like this. I know it couldn't have been an easy thing for you to do. Thank you.
How many times do you brush your hair?
100 strokes.
Every night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have your habits, I have mine.
Are you trying to gaslight me?
What?
Drop it already before I go bananas.
What?
The other shoe.
Oh.
What's on your mind?
I don't know, something about habits.
Oh, Mac, I really don't mean to make you self-conscious.
No, it's not that. It's just something to do with this case, and I don't know what, and it's really gnawing at me.
Why don't you sleep on it? It'll come to you in the morning.
Wait a minute.
You sure know how to make a girl feel wanted.
The ransom note. Francesca wouldn't let me take the ransom note on Saturday, and yet yesterday it was gone. Whoever ransacked the apartment took the note, left a lot of jewelry on Francesca, but took the note. Why?
Maybe the kidnappers put his return address on the letter.
Maybe he did.
He did what?
Well, not a return address necessarily, but some sort of giveaway.
Maybe he was afraid that the police could trace the typewriter.
It wasn't typed. It was put together with letters cut from a newspaper.
I know it had an out-of-town postmark.
It wasn't mailed. If it had been, Fairborn would have received his own ransom note when he checked the mail on Saturday morning.
Then someone must have slipped it into Francesca's mailbox later that morning. Or...
Or what?
Or... I don't know what.
Yeah, this is about the right size.
Right size for what? Why are you getting dressed?
To conduct an experiment. Where are you going?
With you. You know you can't get a cab at this time of night.
A cab?
You keep forgetting you've been grounded.
It's a habit.
Too late, Pavlov. Clues. We're after clues.
Doesn't fit.
Oh, here, you could fold it.
The envelope wasn't folded. That's the point. You need a key. George Fairborn has a key. Where's the phone?
Wrong. No, it's nothing important, Commissioner. You didn't disturb me. What? Yeah, I'm on my way. Oh, nobody makes house calls anymore. No one but cops and crooks.
You see? No way. Fairborn wasn't checking the mail. He was delivering it.
We'll go upstairs and get him. You better get Mrs. McMillan out of the way.
Right. I'll take her home. I'll call you as soon as I know anything.
Be careful, Mac.
police. I'll follow it.
Watch us, Mac. I can get him when we go around the corner. If we wait for the police, we'll never get him.
Faster, Sally, faster. Maybe we can get nabbed for speeding.
I know. I can catch him.
Sally!
Stay down. It's not safe. Don't worry about them. Worry about their
I'll worry about him. I'll worry about the traffic, too. I don't want to get you killed.
I really can't make it, Mac. I'm a good driver. I think we're gaining on 'em.
Now, I'm going to find a squad car, Sally, and you've got to be careful.
Yes, sir.
That was pretty close.
You're telling me? We've got him now, Mac.
He's turning into the garage. Sally, Sally, get back! There's gas leaking! Come on.
Mac,
Sally!
are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. The ransom money. Over here! All right, Mike? Yeah, fine. Get him out of here. I'll get the fire.
Well, it all seems to be here, sir. Well, I guess it was Fairborn who killed Belinsky, huh? Right, Commissioner?
Yeah, they were probably partners in the deal, weren't they? Fairborn figured I might recognize Belinsky's voice on the phone.
He killed him, right? Some guy to go into business with, huh?
Yeah.
Mac, now can we get back to what we were doing?
Oh, you mean you were asleep, too?
Sergeant, you're so sweet.
Well, I think I'll take my tuna fish sandwich back to the station. Good night.
Now, you figure that Fairborn came back to steal a letter, and then he killed Francesca when she found him in the apartment, right?
Right. Almost. He came back to steal the money and murder his wife deliberately. Saw the letter and realized his mistake.
Yes, but when the police found him, he was drugged.
Sedatives. Self-administered.
You're amazing.
Let's get something to eat.
I've got an idea. Come here.
On a full stomach? Aren't you supposed to wait 15 minutes?
That's swimming.
Oh, okay.
টিকটক কুইন হইতে যা যা লাগে মানে নাচ গান অভিনয় আর শাবনূর মৌসুমীকে হারায় দেওয়ার মতো এইসব যা কিছু সবই মালার আছে। অথচ আসল জিনিসটাই নাই, একটা ভালো স্মার্টফোন। আমি আমার জীবন দিয়ে ভালোবাসি মালাকে, মালা তার জীবন দিয়ে ভালোবাসে টিকটককে। অবশ্য টিকটককে মালার ভালো না বাইসাও উপায় নাই। টিকটক কুইন হইতে যা যা লাগে, মানে নাচ, গান, অভিনয় আর শাবনূর মৌসুমীকে হারায় দেওয়ার মতো এইসব যা কিছু সবই মালার আছে। অথচ আসল জিনিসটাই নাই, একটা ভালো স্মার্টফোন। ফলে আমাদের দুজনের একসাথে দেখা একটাই স্বপ্ন একইভাবে ভাঙা যায়। মাঝে মাঝে কাজের মধ্যে আনন্দ খুঁজে নিতে আমি হয়ে যাই বলিউডের সালমান খান কিংবা ঢালিউডের ডিপজল চৌধুরী। এই চুরি কইরা অন্যের জীবনযাপন করার সবচেয়ে মজার অভিজ্ঞতাটা হইল এক পুলিশের পোশাক পইরা চোর থেকে পুলিশ বনে যাওয়া যায় আর নিজেকে নিজে এই বইলা সান্ত্বনা দেওয়া যায়, বাবু সারা জীবন এই সূত্রটা না ভুলিস, মানুষ মাত্রই কখনো চোর কখনো বাসে পুলিশ। হ্যালো, ইন্সপেক্টর নাজিমুদ্দৌলা বলছি। মালা 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 শোনো শোনো শোনো, আমি ধরছি, বলো। আমার পকেটে 20 টাকাও নাই, অথচ আমি মালার জন্য মোবাইল পছন্দ করি, মোবাইল মার্কেট ঘুরা ঘুরা। যদিও জানি না মোবাইল কেনার টাকাটা কই থেকে আসবে। এইরকম দুঃখে কবিরা নীরব হয়ে যায় আর আমার হয় উল্টা। আমি মনে মনে বলি, হায় রে মালা, তোকে দেখলেই কমে যায় হৃদয়ের জ্বালা। অপেক্ষায় আছি তোমাকে করব এমন কাবু, প্রেমে পাগল হয়ে সারাদিন শুধু ডাকবা বাবু বাবু বাবু।
আব্বা আম্মা যদি তোর ছোটকালে জানতো তোর হাইটের লগে তোর গাদামির হাইটটা একটু বাড়বো, তাহলে নিজ দিয়ে এমনিতেই 6 ইঞ্চি কেটে দিত, তোর আর গাদামি বাড়তো। শুন, আব্বা আম্মা যা বলে তা কর, বিয়েটা কর আর আমার রাস্তাটা একটু ক্লিয়ারটা কর।
ও, আমি তোমার পথের কাটা না? তোরা কেউ চাস না যে আমি পড়াশোনা করে এই নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াই?
তুই তো নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াস নাই, তুই তো আমার কাঁধের উপর ভর করে দাঁড়ায় আসছিস। এই, ভাইয়া এই কি তোরা সকালবেলা এরকম কান্দতেছোস কেন? আব্বাও কান্দতেছে, আম্মাও কান্দতেছে। কিছু আম্মা কি সকালবেলা কি সিরিয়াল দেখা শুরু করছে? তাহলে কিছু চুরি হয়েছে বাসা? কেউ মারা গেছে? কেউ কি মরার আগে হসপিটালে অ্যাডমিট হয়েছে? তাহলে কি হয়েছে? সবাই এরকম আয়োজন করে কাঁদতেছে কেন?
বাবা মা বলতেছে আমার নাকি পড়াশোনার দরকার নাই, ধান থাকলে নাকি ধানের মাঝে চিটাও থাকে, আমি নাকি চিটা।
হ্যাঁ তাহলে তো ঠিকই বলছে। আর তুই কখনো দেখছো আব্বা আম্মা পোলাবাড়ির সাথে মিথ্যা কথা বলে?
ভাই কি ওই কথা কইছে? কইছে আমার 1 মাসের মধ্যে বিয়ে করা লাগবে, বিয়ে করা 9 মাসের মধ্যে বাচ্চা পয়দা দেওয়া লাগবে।
মাত্র 9 মাস টাইম দিছে? তুই তো নির্ঘাত ফেল করবি। মানে তোর যে পড়াশোনার কন্ডিশন, তুই 9 মাসের সাথে তোর আরো মিনিমাম 4 মাস টাইম দেওয়া লাগবে, তারপর যদি 12। আচ্ছা দোকানদাররা অবশ্য নতুন যারা বিয়ে করে তাকে চেয়ার দিকে তাকায় থাকে 2 পয়সা ইনকামের জন্য, তোর দিয়ে সেটাও হবে না। তুই চিন্তা বাদ। হ্যাঁ বল।
তুইও
কি?
আমি আগেই সন্দেহ করছিলাম তুই আমার মায়ের পেটের ভাই না। মায়ের পেটের ভাই হলে তুই এরকম করে কথা বলতে পারতি না। তোর আমার না কোনো মিল নাই, না আছে স্বভাবের মিল, না আছে চরিত্রের মিল, না আছে তোর এই যে চেহারার মিল, গায়ের কালারের মিল, কোনো কিছু মিল নাই। বাইকটা
শোন, আব্বা আম্মা যদি তোর ছোটকালে জানতো তোর হাইটের লগে তোর গাদামির হাইটটা একটু বাড়বো, তাহলে নিজ দিয়ে এমনিতেই 6 ইঞ্চি কেটে দিত, তোর আর গাদামি বাড়তো। শোন, আব্বা আম্মা যা বলে তা কর, বিয়েটা কর, আর আমার রাস্তাটা একটু ক্লিয়ারটা কর।
ও আমি তোমার পথের কাটা না, আমি তোমার জীবনের বাধা। তোরা কেউ আমার ভালো চাস না, তোরা কেউ চাস না যে আমি পড়াশোনা করে এই নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াই।
তুই তো নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াস নাই, তুই তো আমার কাঁধের উপর ভর করে দাঁড়ায় আসছিস। শোন, আমি তোর ছোট হিসেবে চাই তুই আব্বা আম্মার কথাটা শোন, তুই 1 মাসের মধ্যে বিয়েটা কর, আমি কবজি ডুবায়া তোর বিয়ের কাচ্চি খাবো, বুঝছস? এই আসো।
Bài nói không thì thiếu reverse rất nhiều ấy. Vài phút suy được kéo dài nhỉ. Nào. Thiếu đồ ai à? Bố 35 2 9 tuổi 10 tuổi 10 tuổi 10 tuổi gần 11 tuổi. Ăn được 8 tuổi giờ 6 rồi. 2 score và sẽ ra quả trứng này. Bye bye. Ra quả trứng này. Trứng ra legend đấy thầy ơi. Còn tao sao nhưng mà sao ở đây? Mấy ông tao mặc cái đấy không? Tao không nghĩ hả? Chồn. Sợ ra không ra legend này chôn búa à? Rồi nang trắng chuỗi à? Chuỗi thêm một quả nữa thì thích lửa. Chồn vai bíp nổi không? Đánh chim mày. Cái gì đi thầy ơi? Cứ epic rồi, cứ epic và giá là mình chôn tao. À, ốp. Lát không? À, vô địch kìa. Còn lấy cái đồ thủ này. Phải theo. Bây giờ bao đi. Quên không? Ui thằng phải thế. Ngang cho đánh nổi á. Được thắng. Nó tự click cái gì nhỉ? Chỗ nào đi tắt mất cái này rồi thấy gì chuồn đào. Lời đi xe mất thắng à? Anh thắng anh thắng cái 9 không? Nếu mà điều dùng vào ngày rồi ta thì gì đây? Ơ đúng. Mình xin Ven 1 à? Hiểu. Hiểu dám đi Ven 1 nha. Kiếm giác vậy chồng. Tao thấy đi Ven 1 vậy. Khỏe thế. Rồi, thằng khỏe vãi. Thằng tanh mình không Galio đéo ăn nổi. Galio 2 đồ qua 2 đồ tanh chưa Galio rồi. Mà đéo ăn nổi. Nó khỏe quá. Đúng không? Thằng này. Tôi bán chết rồi. Đó. Bán chết thì vẫn làm. Bốc về. Lan chơi 20 tuổi được 2 lần quay à. Là làm tiếp. Ủa ra đâu nó sao vậy? Mày nhờn. Mày cút. Ngay vô đâu ra đi xin tí quan này. Rồi ta dồn tới đi. Dây đi 2 lần của Nissan luôn này. Ona luôn này. Ui. Không có mà. Thằng mới một con. Thằng không con. Mình không con. Thằng này à? Thằng này ai? Gaio 2. Rồi một thằng Gaio 2 nhá. Hết rồi. Đâu nữa? Đéo ra Gaio game rác 80 tiền chúng ta. Đúng rồi. 80 tiền cho ra Gaio à? Đâu hiểu rác biết. Gaio đéo Gaio đẹp chứ đéo gì mà cái đồ phép đi. Mà này một đồ tanh yes Gaio đâu yes Gaio ở chôn bố à? Thằng béo thích phớt lờ đâu không? Nó cho chút đấy. Cô có quần áo chưa cất ở đây này. Một tí nhưng mà móc đồ hết rồi. À. Tao trước giờ vẫn thế mà.
Đúng mà. Đâu. Mày ăn này, mày bán đâu? Phớt má. Nó đâu? Cái gì tao treo quần áo phơi
Chinh chùa à? Nổi không? Đánh nổi là ngày không? Đừng móc vậy. Bao nhiêu cái nữa? Gì? 2 cái á? 2 cái á? 2 cái lấy đây này, một cái áo đang treo này. Áo của thằng áo đang treo này. À, đéo biết, mất rồi. Đéo biết, chỉ gì? 35 máu à, 35 máu ở thằng kia mà sống ở chôn búa. Sao hả em? 60 tuổi, đâu được, chỉ được. What the hell, lập bếp của cái đâu kìa. Chưa thấy cái gì, chưa thấy gọi là gì, gọi là thông báo. Là đéo cho tiền rồi hay gì. Chuẩn không vậy? Mày quá ngay một cái gọi là gì giảm đa phép, mày đi. Mày đòi ăn tao. Mày phút xuống dưới. Đi xin 2 sự khỏe đấy. Anh là lên xin 3. Ôi kìa. 60 mấy tuổi này. Mình sẽ book cho các em nhá, book cho các em ngay từ vào đầu. Ok. Bắn hết tốc độ cho rồi. Gì? Ở đây thanh đỏ không? Thanh đỏ ấn được, đều ấn được. Đều ấn được rồi. Hết cơ. 2 ly xin à? Thằng song đấu mà không đánh ly xin à chị Chôn nhỉ? Không đánh ly xin à? Song đấu có 1-2 ly xin thôi xong, để ly xin vào. Mắc rồi. What the hell? Chơi bỏ phe chơi kia bị rơi. Bây giờ qua cái. À chơi tắm xem có không? Khiếp. Cái gì vậy? Em thoa vào trong mix sự kinh khủng ấy. Tuấn, anh đỡ mũ hoa. Ok, chào em. Cần cái gì nữa? Cái gì nữa nhỉ? Cuồng đao không được rồi, không. Một cái này. Đang quay mà. Đây rồi. Sự phải bút một chút tốc độ cho thành nhân vật đấy. Đây rồi, anh sẽ bút cho em bằng sao em? Cái gì nhỉ? Launch into space simulator. Vua 9 U3 IEA. Cha thế bây giờ 9 U3 IEA. Lúc này là thằng anh không gọi tao, thằng trẻ con này nó cho tại họ tao Dương Yên nó cho clip cải từ lâu để tao chơi được cái này. 9 U3 không bóc đâu. Thế tao lấy đồ khô, thế lấy đồ khô kia của tao là xong mà. Đồ kia tao hơi tối qua mà đủ tao ấy. Hơi tối qua. Ôi tôi mất. Tao để anh bay tiếp anh. Ui lao ở đây này. Sao anh gọi ý lao nhỉ? Dám gọi ý lao. Mà rồi em ơi. Nhưng mà anh không Galileo Vũ ơi, không Galileo của Juliet rồi. Giờ bài anh yếu ấy. Thôi anh sẽ bút thằng này lên trên hành tinh kia cho mạnh. 100 tỷ à? 100 tỷ à? Nhưng mà như nào là không được hả Tuấn? Ví dụ mà cái trò bọn ta chơi là ý là nó sẽ phóng linh vật bay lên trên cái hành tinh tiếp theo ấy, nhưng mà tao phải làm đến lúc nó đủ tiền thì thôi ấy. Bọn tao vẫn kiểu xoay màn hình ấy, với cả nó có nhiều cái lúc vào phim có nhiều cái kiểu vật xung quanh ấy, như thế. Nhưng mà di chuyển nhanh điết cho con mở một máu ạ. Thôi anh gì rồi phải châm bài đang thắng thì thua top 5 ạ. Chuồn game rác cho chịu được game rác.